Hey guys, it's Laura back with another review. This one's exciting because I have never been this early to a book review before, just because all of my book talk recommendations have been, let's just say your girl's been living under a large rock, so I haven't been able to actually read any of the book talk recommendations until fairly recently. I actually didn't read It Ends With Us until only a couple months ago. I want to say I read it probably in July. So for the most part, the details are still a little bit fresh. I have read some other book talk recommendations since then, like Book Lovers, and I've wanted to read some more, but things have just gotten busy. Anyways, this is my first book review. I will have the book linked in my description if you want to go get it. I think it's cheapest on Amazon personally. I know some people get it at Target, but I checked my Target and it was sold out, so I had to get it on Amazon, and Amazon ships super quick. So anyways, I'm going to try and talk about the book without spilling anything too important, because I want you guys to read the book, obviously, just because I love it so much. But so It Starts With Us is actually a sequel to It Ends With Us, and I didn't know that It Ends With Us was actually a book that was made a while ago. The reason why It Starts With Us was actually made was specifically because of the book talk community, just because it was one of those books where I didn't even know about the book until I saw TikToks about it. People were saying, oh, that person, even when it was TikToks that weren't really technically about the characters, people would make little comments oh, that this story is just like Atlas and Lily. And I'm like, who the fuck is Atlas and Lily? But I got the book, so I will share a little bit of my thoughts about it. Please give me some grace, guys. I'm not a book reviewer. I just have recently got into reading books, recreationally. So you have Lily, and obviously, since the previous book, she had her kid, and I don't know if you pronounce it Ryle or Riley. I'm gonna say Riley because Ryle sounds off to me, but if it's Ryle, then please tell me if it is. So they have their kid, all that. It leaves off of the note that several months after the fact they just met. It doesn't start off right after the other one left off. So Atlas and Lily meet each other again months later. They want to pursue this relationship, but obviously Riley is the main reason why they aren't just doing this. But Lily still has other reasonings for why they aren't moving faster. They're wanting to take it slow. She has a lot of stuff going through her mind. She's a very busy woman. She's not only a single mother living at the place that her ex-husband pays for, this really nice apartment. She's a business owner. She's super busy with that, and she's trying to get back into dating. Personally, I think it's a hard situation myself, not because I've ever been in that position. I'm not married or anything like that, but one of my favorite couples on TikTok just recently are going through a divorce, and they have to do the whole co-parenting thing. They actually blew up on TikTok because of how well their co-parenting relationship is. I'll put that in my description too if you guys want to check them out. I think they're a key example of what a healthy co-parenting relationship should be. You guys are amicable, you guys are friends, because at the end of the day, books like this remind me that, even if you guys aren't on the best of terms, you guys have to be on somewhat on tolerable terms for the sake of your child, because your child isn't stupid. They're gonna notice when things have hit the fan, when things are shitty. Even if they're super young, that's gonna carry that trauma with them. And one of the things that I really loved about this book was not only do you get both sides of how they describe things, because I think the way in which the text changes from how Atlas's emotions is and how Lily describes the situation it makes for a really good read where, like, I don't know, the fast pacedness, whenever I read her books, I just feel like while it is like 300 or 400 pages, it feels like you're watching like a very quick paced movie. I don't know if that's how to describe it. It's really hard for me to actually like imagine Riley as being anyone besides Theo James, because people kept saying, oh, he totally looks like who that could be. I don't know what people were suggesting Atlas could be, because like all I hear from people is like, oh, he looks like a Greek god, but I don't know who that would be. But they're making a movie, which is super exciting. So what I was saying before was I really enjoy how like you get a lot more background on like who Atlas is in general. There's a really big surprise that you guys like don't really know about. Like once you read further into the text, like it totally makes a lot of sense with how it plays out. But let's just say that Atlas comes to meet someone who's very, very important to his life. But I'm not going to go much further into that. But it basically changes his life for the better. We love that. And then you see more of like how his upbringing happens, like with his like parents and all that stuff, or lack thereof parents. You hear more about like their stories of them meeting Lily and Atlas with like the stories and like with the journals and stuff like that. And overall, I think that even though, you know, people are going to say, oh, she's just making this story so she can like make extra money or whatever, or like, you know, I think book talk really is like a changing thing, because I don't think, you know, authors like her or like the author of After would have written nearly as much as she has without the support of book talk, because honestly, I don't think any of these books would have been popular without book talk. But, you know, it's hyped. Some would say overhyped, but I like her books. I like the pacing of it. I like the character development. And the ending was exactly what I needed it to be. It brought what it needed to bring. And all of like the loose ends that I was thinking like were perfectly tied together. I don't think anything was cheesy. I think that even though, you know, it wasn't like a perfect happily ever after thing, it was a very real ending. I still feel like at the end of the day, you know, it was a cute fairy tale ending to a point, but at the same time, you know, this is a still very realistic story of like love and lost and then finding love again. And overall, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I don't think it's technically the like my favorite book in the world. I actually think I liked It Ends With Us more, just because I don't know, it was like weird, like the way that she was describing the characters, it felt so raw and real. Like it was low-key traumatizing reading what Riley did to her. But this one, there was like a much more light note to it. Like it wasn't nearly as graphic. If you like smut, this is still a very smut-filled book. Not as smut-filled as the other one, but it's definitely not for like people who haven't heard of, read about sex before, if that makes sense. Thankfully, it doesn't get too graphic. I know After was pretty graphic, and you know, what was that book, 50 Shades Darker? It's not that type of smut, but you know, she adds hints of it there. So, yeah. Do I think you should get the book? Absolutely. Please get it while it's still on sale. Like, $13 is not that bad for a book. I really miss when they used to be $10. But get it while it's still on a good deal, because I am 100% sure that this book is going to sell out. Like, it might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. But it's going to sell out, because this is very anticipated. I cannot wait for them to make the movie. I hope that they do it justice, because, you know, there's so much to it. I want it to be a long movie too. And maybe not too graphic, because, you know, childhood trauma and, you know, people deal with that. But yeah, you guys need to get the book. Absolutely love it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.